Hello, Celine. This is Talk of the Towns, Celine High School's official podcast. I'm your host, Rain Douglas, and today we are here with...
Jason Schmier.
Now, let's talk local. Hanukkah is known as the Festival of Lights.
How it's commemorating the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, and it's all about, like, again, the miracle of the oil that was supposed to last for only as the Jewish people were being persecuted, that was only supposed to last for one day, and ended up lasting for 8 days. And just in general, like, it's symbolic in terms of, like, symbolizing resilience, faith, perseverance of, the Jewish identity. We light the candles in my home. A menorah is something that's used, I think, in many Jewish households that celebrate Hanukkah, and light the candles, say a blessing. There's other things that go along with it. There's different family traditions that go along with it. Some people have probably heard of dreidel, which is a kind of like a children's game that's played with, like, winning candy based on, like, it's basically kind of like a fancy top is what a dreidel is, and depending on what side that dreidel lands on, you get a certain amount of, like, candy, and it's just like a fun, like, children's kind of game.
Is there something specific that happens each night, some sort of event?
Lighting of the candles, lighting of the menorah, I would say usually there is a gift-giving component, although I'd say that's more with younger kids. I mean, my daughter right now is 16, and we do, give her, a small gift every night. It's not like it's like the amount of presents that someone would get, say, like in the Christmas tree, where it's just, all at once. It's kind of like dividing that up into, like, I guess eight nights essentially. So that's kind of how we do it.
So the main purpose of lighting the candles in the menorah is just to symbolize the 8 different nights, or does it have a different meaning?
Yeah, I think it's also, like, again, the idea of the oil being lit. I mean, and how they were able to illuminate. And I think also there's, like, the symbolism of, like, just bringing light into darkness as well. And in the how Jews were being persecuted at the time. And so you have this kind of, like, literal and metaphorical kind of light that's helping to illuminate things. And, it's just this, it's a time for spiritual reflection. It's a time for, kind of acknowledging, like, the triumph of light over darkness as well. It's a symbolic act of, like, bringing light into the world, and it's like and that bringing that light into the world is sort of a symbol of, like, hope and renewal as well. One thing that's done during Hanukkah or eaten during Hanukkah are something called latkes, and these are potato pancakes that are fried in oil. And part of that is the tradition, again, of the miracle of the oil that, is used to illuminate the menorah and all of that, but also, like, the symbolic. So there's a lot of, like, frying of certain things, especially, like, again, they're basically potato pancakes, but we call them latkes, and that's a tradition as well. I'd say in many Jewish households as well. So,
what other types of traditions do you have specifically to your household?
Like I said before, like the spinning of the dreidel, we've done that before. I mean, now as my daughter's a little bit older, we're not doing it as much because she's a teenager, so not as much. Right now, I guess I'd say lighting the candles. We might sing a little bit. There's, a couple kind of classic Hanukkah songs, Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel. I'm sure many folks out there know that. Hanukkah. We've certainly, put those songs on. I know it's funny, like the tradition in the last several years has been, using our friend Alexa on Amazon, and they have like actually a pretty nice Hanukkah playlist there, and there's actually quite a few like artists that people might recognize singing Hanukkah songs, and some of them are Jewish and some of them are not, the artists that sing that, and so we like to play that list as well. Like we'll just put on, say, hey, Alexa, put on the Hanukkah playlist or whatever, and it's just we like some of the songs that come up on that as well. So that's something that's kind of like developed as a tradition in our household recently as we discovered that.
What is your favorite childhood memory of just anything that has to do with Hanukkah when you were a child?
I'd say going to my grandma's house, and we one of the traditions that like would be, and of course getting gifts and all of that. That was certainly great and all of that. You're a kid, you want gifts. That's exciting and all of that. But also like playing dreidel like with my cousins as well. And then we would play it not in the traditional way, but then we would also play it in a non-traditional way, which I think is maybe a little bit unique to my family as far as I know, is that we would just have a who could spin the dreidel the longest contest, and just like a competition. And so, I don't know, my family, we tend to be a little bit competitive. And so like that would develop into, who can spin the dreidel the longest. And there'd be like a little bit of my grandma would put up like a little bit of prize, like I don't know, $20 or something like for the winner. I mean, you're talking about 35 years ago or whatever. So like winning $20 was like a big thing. You really wanted to dig in and win that award, and you'd have these again these spin-offs and kind of judges as to like whose dreidel spins the longest. And it was kind of funny because you'd always have people like being like, oh no, you got the better dreidel. No, you got the better dreidel. I think they were basically all the same, but there was always some like preference for like the lucky dreidel and all that kind of stuff. So that brings back fond memories.
So for Christmas we say Merry Christmas. Mm-hmm. What would be the phrasing for Hanukkah?
If you just go up to someone that that celebrates Hanukkah and you say Happy Hanukkah, that's it. That's lovely. That's the equivalent to saying Merry Christmas. And I will say that it is nice when people say it to me, and it's meaningful when anyone says it to me, but I also particularly appreciate, since, again, I am very much a minority religion, that when people that are not Jewish and they say it to me, and it like that's meaningful, I would say, because it like kind of says like, oh, they recognize that I'm different or that I don't celebrate Christmas, and they're kind of acknowledging that and honoring that. So I particularly am appreciative of people that are not of my faith that acknowledge the holiday. And a teacher actually just brought me, like not a Jewish teacher, a lovely gift for Hanukkah and this traditional kind of bread that's called challah bread, and brought that to me. And it was really, really lovely, and it was just like really, really thoughtful. And again, someone that totally went out of their way and just honoring my traditions, because again again, Christmas is an awesome holiday, and it's but it's everywhere, and that's great. But obviously Hanukkah doesn't get the attention that Christmas does, just because there's not the number of people. So it's lovely when someone like acknowledges like your holiday as well. So it's really nice.
Is there any last thing that you would like to say about Hanukkah or any of your experiences?
I would just like to say Happy Hanukkah to everyone, and I would also like to say Merry Christmas to everyone, too, who celebrates as well, and as well Happy Kwanzaa, too. So I just think it's a great time of the year, and to honor multiple holidays, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Check out the other Talk of the Town episodes when they come out on Celine Video's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rain Douglas.
And I'm Jason Schmier.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.